mind to it and are willing to work for it, you just don't turn into something without hard work. So you have to maybe take an MBA, or you have to go back to school, or you have to, go some other route. So anyone can transition to anything. I believe that, but it's hard work involved, and you have to make the investment, and you have to make the decision if it's worth it. Then I can talk about my path, which is I was an engineer. I became an engineering manager. I happened to start closer to customers, and I realized I liked it. My transition was that I did more and more tasks that were close to product management, but in a different role. So in partner engineering manager, maybe I looked at like, okay, what features could we add to increase our partner engineering return on investment? Like I started thinking as a product manager. I started acting as a product manager, but I had a different title. And I made my team more successful that way or not, The customer advocacy role was another example. I work close with the customers as a technical advocate, and I collected back the requirements to product managers within the company. And I kind of did pre-work for the product managers that way, and became a helpful asset, and learned from the product managers who were very skilled and excited to have this additional help on site with the customers. I think, field experience, I think, solution architect, I think any business development, any side experience that where you see a market share, where you see the external needs, which comes from either partners or customers, that could be a path, or internally. Like there are people who come to me for coaching, and they work in support, or they work in engineering, and then it's about finding a path internally, talk to your manager to get more tasks that are about distilling the core need, plan out a plan on how to solve it, invest the time to sell the idea to people who will buy in and give the resources to actually build it out. You can be a product manager in your current role if you find a problem that will solve your business, core issues. If it's reducing risk somewhere or saving cost, if you find a cost center and you have an idea on how to solve it, you can build your own product plan around it and go to execution. You can try it out without having the title. That's my point. I'm an engineer. I have a Master of Science in Computer Science. My major was in artificial intelligence and autonomous systems. And after that, I worked as an engineer for a while, coding something called a Java virtual machine and the garbage collection system in that. In some years later, I transitioned to a team lead. Eventually, I moved from Sweden, where I grew up and was working, to Silicon Valley in California. And in that transition, I started working a little bit closer to customers. I handled a partner engineering team. I was the technical liaison for Sun Microsystems at this time. I was working at BA Systems, so we needed to go through all the technical agreements and make sure we were compliant. At the same time, I worked as a customer advocate for the strategic customers of BA Systems, meaning I got to spend a lot of time on site with customers, understanding what they actually were doing with the products and technology we produced, and take those insights back to all the product managers across these products to better integrate and kind of tell the end-to-end story, so that we could prioritize features better and accordingly to how they would better meet our customers' needs. So that's when I started, one step into product management. And then Oracle acquired us. I worked a little bit with field enablement and product strategy. And then I jumped into Azul Systems, a startup. And that's when I really got to try the product management role for real. It was very exciting. I loved it. And then when I joined Cloudera many years ago, I was ready to take on a big challenge, and that's what Cloudera presented me, and I've had fun here since. Say, if you zoom out to 10,000 feet, it's about, is your product being used? If no one's using it, it will go away, right? And forgive me, I should caveat it with, I'm a product manager in enterprise infrastructure software, data processing or scalable storage and all that. That's kind of serving the back end. And in that case, if no one takes up and uses your product, it's a failure. No one will renew that license or buy it again. I don't know if you have ever bought a product that you, after the fact, never used. I mean, you would never go back to that store, right? So one success factor is uptake or adoption or end user adoption, or customer actually putting it into production and using it. And then the other success factor is, are people actually willing to pay for it? As long as it's free, I can use it. But how are you going to make money? Again, back to the core mission of a product manager is, you want the return on investment. Your investment is engineering time and costs. You want it to be a good deal. You want a good margin on what you're doing. So someone wants to pay for it. That's also a success factor, right? And then I think it also ties into, if people want to renew, if they come back to you for more, if they want to, and that ties into adoption and willing to pay for it. But it's a little bit about loyalty. If customer keep on coming back, that's a good indication of success. Be more data driven. There's nothing, you can have a gut feeling, you can be innovative and creative like me, but no matter if you talk to 100 customers, you might be in the bubble anyway. So be more data driven. Let the product report back usage, and not only trust humans, but actually trust human behaviors. Like what they say may be one thing, what they do is definitely another thing. So correlate different data sources before making any decision. That's my best advice. And then one additional comment on trying product management in your current role. Once you've successfully done such a project or experiment, you can put that on your resume, right? And then you start looking more like someone who could be hired for product management. So use your experiences and practice your skills on packaging up features as a product that someone wants to buy, right? You can do that around your resume. So practice these skills. If you want to transition into product management, practice these skills whenever you get an opportunity, and see every opportunity as a product situation, right? But being a successful product manager is very hard if you don't get direct access to customers, if you don't get the data you need to make the decision, if you don't know how to speak engineering with engineers who rely on your vision and your path to be successful in their careers and with their product. You need to be a multi-skilled person, and you need a lot of communication skill. You need to know how to build trust and respect, both with customers, engineering, sales, and executives. And you can have the greatest idea and the best team, but if what you're working on is not aligned with where the company's going, is not going to succeed anyway. Then it's better to find that somewhere else. So make sure you're in an enabling direction and environment to be successful.